Hi, my name is Giulia, and I'm studying history at University of Milan. I'm from northern Italy.
Giulia, why did you choose University of Milan?
As I'm from a small village in Lake Maggiore, which is the northwestern part of Italy, I had two options because I knew I wanted to study history, and these options were Milan and Turin. I'd prefer Milan for several reasons, such as my parents studied in Milan and they enjoyed living in Milan. Then here there are many important professors, especially for Middle Ages and modern age. So I choose Milan. It's also a city I knew better than Turin because my village is near Milan, not that distance, so I chose Milan.
Okay, Giulia, what advantages and disadvantages have this university?
In my opinion, a great advantage that University of Milan offers to students are the huge amount of cultural events that are organized by professors. Although they are not well announced, you have to frequently, even though they are not well announced, as I was saying, and you have to constantly check your email address or around the university there are costs. And another advantage is that there are many libraries well equipped, so it's not difficult for you to get what you need to study: books, articles, journals, newspapers. And we have also a canteen and a cafeteria which are quite cheap and affordable, and this is great in my opinion because Milan is quite expensive, but there are not many places where you can comfortably have lunch, and in the canteen there are few places, so it's a problem, especially because here in Italy we have lunch more or less around 1:00 p.m. So there are many students having lunch at that time.
Okay, Giulia, what can you say about pandemic in Milan or in general in Italy, and how the university managed the emergency?
Milan was and Lombardia, but especially Milan, has been the most. It's been the place where the pandemic was stronger in Italy, and there are many cases still today. There are many cases, and especially during the first lockdown in March 2020, when all started. In fact, the first case of COVID was here in Lombardia, near Milan, in Codogno. And the first lockdown was very confusing because nobody knew how to manage the situation. So we had online all the lessons for the entire semester, but we lost an entire week because nobody didn't know what to do. Then the situation got better. We had to stay closed also in the autumn 2020, but then from spring 2021, even though we were still in lockdown, we could go to university. And we had the last written examinations in presence, so we could go to university to take this examination, but for oral examination we are still online because the cases are still high because of Omicron, more or less. But I'm actually satisfied now. of how the university is managing this situation, because I can go to the library, I can go to university and see my friends wearing masks and keeping the social distance. So
what are the opportunities for internships and further employment are in the university?
Now, even for this point, it's important to check your email, because university keep you aware of what opportunity it offers. For example, you can work for the university as librarian or delivery man. You just have to send your applications. As a humanist, I must say that it's hard to find unemployment, but there's the possibility to join a job fair where member of companies come to university and explain us what they offer to us as employments. But the last 2 years it was online because of the pandemic, of course, so it's quite difficult, in my opinion, to understand what you really want, because the website is a bit confused.
Julia, can you describe student life in Milan? What offers this city for students?
Milan is a very, very active city, so there's literally everything. You can do whatever you want. There are many museums, many theaters that have student prices, also gym, and there are many local you can join with your friends, many parks you can visit for working. There's literally everything, so I suggest to be open to new experiences. There's many things you can do, and there are also many libraries that where you can go to study when universities are closed. So I really like living in Milan as a student.
Julia, what are your monthly expenses in Milan?
Oh, as I said before, Milan is very expensive. So just for living, you have to consider to save at least 500 euros every month, just for rent and buying food. Considering public transport, I do not know exactly how to say, because I like walking, so I barely take public transport. I like to walk, so I buy 10 tickets for time. But the annual ticket costs around 200 euros for people who has less than 26 years, so it's quite expensive. If you wanna go to the cinema, you have to consider at least other 10 euros, more or less, for every movie you wanna see. Then there are the cost of books for studying, and more or less are 70 euros for every examination you need to take. Considering 3 books, more or less 70 euros. So it's quite expensive living in Milan.
Yes, Julia. Okay, what plans do you have for your career later?
Actually, I have no clear ideas. Not because I'm not thinking about it, but because I really wanna do something I like in life. So I'm considering teaching in high schools, researching for university, and communicating history. I know that is not easy. Succeed in this because of many problems we have in Italy concerning our educational system, for example. But I'd like to try because I really love what I'm doing, so history is my passion. But also working in the organization of cultural events would be nice for me. So I'm still considering on all of this. But for now, I'm focusing on finishing my studies. Then, in a couple of months, I will talk about my future with my professor.
Okay, Julia. Can you give 5 advices for students who want to study in Milan or in general in Italy?
Yeah. Here in Milan, I suggest you to download the app of public transport because it's very chaotic, Milan. So the better you know all your journeys, the better is, the easier is for you. Then I suggest you to socialize with other students because the thing I enjoy most of my life here as a student is studying and living with other students, with my friends. It's easier for me studying with them. Then don't be scared of starting a dialogue with your professors because they like interacting with you. It shows that you are interested in what you're doing, and it's a good thing. Then I suggest you to walk around Milan because it's a very beautiful city, and for me as a historian, it's wonderful walking in places that are very important for Italian history, such as Piazza Fontana, and there are, what I've said, 3 or 4. I lost the count. 4, okay. 3 to go. Can I check? I wrote something. I just have to check to remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Check frequently your email address because communication at University of Milan is not very efficient. Then be open to opportunities because Milan offers really a huge amount of possibilities. Then, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's true, if you have to go back home at night or when it gets dark, be careful, especially if you are a girl, because Milan by night it's not very safe, so be careful.